Welcome to Kids Academy.
Hi Kids Academy, welcome to this video. Today we'll be talking about discovered attack. Now this goes hand in hand with a discovered check. And a discovered check is when you move a piece and you reveal a piece behind it that attacks the king. This is very similar, we just won't be dealing with checks. So we'll be moving a piece and the piece behind it will be creating a threat. We'll be uncovering or discovering a piece behind it that can create a threat. What's very powerful about discovered attacks is that the piece we move can create a threat of its own. So by moving one piece, we're able to create two threats at the same time. Very difficult to defend against. In this first game, it's Black's turn. And notice how this rook is lined up with the queen. Anywhere this knight moves, the rook will be threatening the queen, attacking the queen. It's also very important to note that the black queen is supporting the rook, so the rook is defended. The question is, where should this knight go? The answer is knight e4. Black is able to win a pawn for free. We capture the pawn, and we simultaneously create a threat. White doesn't have time to capture our knight. The queen is in danger. The queen can move, and that gives our knight enough time to retreat. So, going back, the move is knight takes e4, and this is called a discovered attack because it unlocks or it discovers the rook that's behind the knight. By moving the knight out of the way, the rook is attacking the queen. The knight is able to kind of go off on this venture and capture the pawn, and white doesn't have time to recapture the knight because the queen is in danger. Okay, here it is white's turn. You should be searching for pieces that share the same diagonal or rank or file. Notice how this bishop is all along this long light square diagonal. This knight is in the way, but if this knight were to move, the bishop would be attacking the rook. And in fact, we can put both rooks in danger. The bishop can attack a8, and the knight can attack can go to d6 and attack e8. Both rooks are now in danger. It doesn't matter what black plays, we will capture one of these 5-point rooks with our 3-point minor piece, and we will be winning material. It's important to note that knight d6 is the only move that wins material. Knight f6 is a check, but the pawn will just capture, and okay, the bishop can capture the rook, that we still have this discovered attack, but our bishop will get lost, and white actually ended up losing material. White gave away a 3-point knight and a 3-point bishop and only captured one rook in return. So instead of knight f6, knight d6 is the way to go. This move makes sure that white comes out ahead. Okay, try to solve this one yourself. Move a piece that can create a threat and simultaneously unlock a piece behind it that can create a threat of its own. Well, even the pawns can be involved in discovered attacks, and the answer is pawn d6. The first attack is pretty easy to see. The pawn is attacking this rook, but we're also opening up this bishop. We're uncovering the bishop, which is attacking the rook on a8. Whichever rook moves, we will capture the other rook and at least win 2 points. If this rook were to move, though, we could even win more. Our fourth and final puzzle on discovered attacks. Once again, this is a black position. Black to play and win points. Notice how this white queen is offsides, deep into black territory. Is she an asset or is she a liability? It looks like she might be getting trapped. What is black's best move? Well, this puzzle is a very nice example of discovered attack, and it also incorporates a theme called an in-between move or an intermezzo. Black's best move here is actually the funny looking, awkward looking bishop f4. And this does two things. Number one, it's attacking the bishop. Number two, by moving this bishop out of the way, we've unlocked our queen, and now we are threatening the white queen. Notice how this bishop is not defended, this queen is not defended. If white were to capture our bishop, we lose 3, but we gain 9 points back when we capture the white queen. Same thing if the pawn captures us, we will capture the queen. So the real question is, what happens if white captures our queen? And notice how the queen is guarding the bishop, so she doesn't want to go that way. But if the queen captures our queen, we would not want to take the queen back immediately because then our bishop would be in trouble and we would lose a whole piece. But we can throw in this in-between move and not capture the queen right away. First we play bishop takes e3 check. The king has to move, and only then can we capture the queen. We give away our 9-point queen, but in return we capture this 3-point bishop and 9-point queen. Going back, the discovered attack, bishop f4, unlocks our queen, creates a threat of its own. White is losing material. So a discovered attack is very similar to a discovered check, but instead of doing it on a king and a piece, we are attacking 2 pieces simultaneously. The piece we move is able to create a threat, and so is the piece behind it that we are uncovering. A very powerful tactic, not as common as pins and forks or even skewers, but when they do happen, they are very powerful. So keep your eyes out for these. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.